Ate Jen!
Yes! How are you? Ano muna yung secret ingredient?
Secret ingredient is a series for View that we did.
Sa Korea lahat?
Korea, Jakarta, and then Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kailan siya mag-air?
April 30. Super near na. We're excited.
Lapit na.
Yeah.
So parang ang story, Korean, tapos Pinoy, so yung dalawang culture in a love story.
Actually, Ate Jen, yung setting talaga dapat nito is Indonesia. So we shot it as if we were in Indonesia. And then our executive chef, who's played by Nicolas Apucha, he's from Jakarta. He's the chef. And then somebody from Korea went to Jakarta to be in the same kitchen as me. Pero may story na ma-unfold.
Kamusta ang katrabaho yung mga Korean actors? Paano sila?
They're both fun. They're both different, but they were really nice to work with.
Pero hindi kasi nag-start ka nung sa 2007 sa Koke. But before
Yes.
Koke may isa pa, di ba?
Walang kapalit.
Oh.
Young Claudine.
So ilang taon ka nun?
6. And then sumalang ako kay Koke with Direk Wen at 8, 9. And then, ayun na, sunod-sunod na siya.
So
Yeah.
ang tagal mo na
6.
din sa showbiz, magto 2 decades ka na din halos.
Yes. Hindi ko siya na-realize. Kasi parang I feel like fully commit ako sa kanya when I turned 15. I took a break to study. I wanted to be normal. I wanted to go to school ng walang work after. Parang ganun.
Kung saan talaga yung heart mo, no?
Yeah. I looked for it. Na-miss ko siya.
Ano na mismo?
I love it. I love what we do. Baka it
Hindi,
was
diba?
also the world that I was exposed to growing up. So it's the only world I know.
Yung parents mo in the industry,
Yeah.
di ba? Your relatives, your titas. So parang talagang, ito yung norm for you.
Yes.
Anong pinakagusto mo sa ginagawa natin?
I love being on the set. It's my happiest place. So, pag natatapos yung isang project, parang nasasad na ako ulit. I'm already gearing up for the next one.
Pero syempre, yun yung mga things that you love. But eventually, as you stay longer in the business, there will always be things na you will not like. Ano yung mga hindi mo nagustuhan?
I think what comes with being a public figure, it's a different light. As much as you don't want people to care so much about your life,
Magka-care sila.
magkikare sila. That was the hardest thing for me to surrender. Until you kind of outgrow it, parang okay na yun. If they care, they're good. It's better than they don't care.
Sa showbiz kasi, love life, number 1.
Yes.
Interesado sila.
Yeah.
Second, family life. Siyempre,
Yeah.
yung surname mo, talagang lalo silang,
Yeah.
doon sila interested. Tapos, meron pang pati yung mga friendship life mo in
Yes.
the business.
Yeah.
Like, big deal na sa kanila yung nag-unfollowan.
Hindi na friends.
Hindi na sila
Yeah,
friends,
yeah,
di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos,
That's true.
dyan na magsisimula yung mga issue, bakit nag-unfollow na,
Yes,
bakit nag-ganito
yeah.
na, di ba?
Baka sa social media kasi, because when I was starting out, even when I was a teenager pa, parang wala naman masyado pang ganun.
Yes, naabutan mo.
Nakakamiss.
Kasi nung 6 years old, wala.
Yeah.
2005, 2006,
Yeah.
2007, wala pa.
Parang later on na lang.
But if you know how to use it to your advantage, in a way, since we can share what we want to share, may control ka kahit paano ng gusto mong ilabas.
Yes,
Dun sa content mo.
right. Your own content. Pero pag
Yes.
may lumalabas ng not from you, wala na. You have no control over
Oh,
that.
so anong ginagawa mo kapag beyond your control na? Yung
Surrender.
mga lumalabas.
Kasi nakaka-frustrate when you try to be in control of everything. Before, I used to be like that. Pero now, okay na. Okay na yun. Everything passes eh. So I let it go.
Ano yung pinakamahirap i-let go?
Siguro the things that were said and are said are super easy to let go. But it's the more personal impact on you that's hard to.
Like ano yung
It takes
impact?
time. How you see people, how you see friendships, how you see everything. It changes. You're never the same. Pero you're wiser, you're smarter.
Yung mga controversies kung paano mo hinandle before. Pag if you look back, meron ka bang mga thoughts na I could have handled it differently or should have done this?
Yeah.
Dapat ganito na lang?
For sure, especially as you grow old and then you know better, you feel like you would have done things differently, and then that will play in your mind. Pero wala eh. What's happened, and then you know better. You know how to make decisions better. Pag alam mo nang ang bawat galaw may consequence or may effect yan in the long run.
Yung biggest misconception sa'yo?
So yun, bad person, bad daughter.
So, paano mo dinidil yun, yung misconception na yan? Nakukuha mo ba to pag na-meet ka? Mabait ka pala sa
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
Mabait ka naman pala. May mga ganun,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Doon mo magigets na, ano bang tingin niyo
Tingin
sa
nila
akin?
sa akin, am I that bad? Like, ano ba, what am I saying? But it takes time for me to warm up din at it din. Hindi din ako yung parang, it's always instinctive na when I become warm sa first it means I have a good feeling about you. Pero pag medyo may ako, tao lang, ganun talaga. We have our walls, but don't be cynical. Parang, still trust in human beings.
Kasi ang bata carefree.
Yes.
I'm sure when you were 6 years old in the set, naglalaro ka lang sa
Yes.
set ni Direk Wen, di ba?
Yes,
Hindi ka
yes,
pa conscious
Direk Wen,
nun.
yes.
Hindi mo alam na may mga ganito pala sa mundo ng showbiz. Di ba nakakamiss minsan yung innocence?
Yes.
Nang wala kang alam?
Yeah. Naive ka lang.
Naive ka lang, masaya ka lang.
Wala sila sinasabi sa akin at the back of my, right now. Nag-work lang ako, they all like me, they love me.
Tapos, pag tumatagal ka na, oh, shucks.
Oo.
May nababasa ka na
Oo.
sa dyaryo. Ganito palang tingin sa akin.
Na-principal's office ka na.
Yes.
Na-management, ka na.
Ganito palang dating ko sa mga
Yeah.
tao. But also, kapag ginanon ka, pumapasok na din yung hindi mo alam kung should I be myself or should I put on something para hindi na nila sabihin to about me. Dumating ka ba dun sa ganung point?
Yes, but you become more aware. You become so aware that you know how to handle yourself in different environments and in situations. Like, when you're in the set, I enjoy yung nakikisama ka sa lahat. You treat everyone like a friend and your family because when you love them naman, they will love you back eh. So, na-accept ko na just be open, especially when people don't know if they could talk to you or not. Sometimes you have to be the one to show them na, hey, like, we can talk.
Pag tumatanda ka,
Yeah.
no? Lalo na yan, pinagdaanan mo yan, stage ng It Girls.
Yeah.
Dumaan ka sa stage ng Love Team.
Yes.
Ang hirap yung stage ng It Girls kasi the fans are pitting everyone
Yes.
against each other.
Yeah. It's sad when it bothers others and then you feel it. Parang,
Diba?
sana hindi mo hinayaang nakapasok yung iba sa utak mo.
Yes.
Yeah, yung ganun. Mas nakakasad pag nagkakaroon ng actual effect.
Yes. So, paano mo hinandle yun? Yung ganun. Yung parang laging may competition between the other girls na kaedad mo.
Hindi kasi ako rat race at it in. Like, I don't feel like I'm competing with anyone. If anything, every day I feel like I'm competing with myself. I don't know, it's not interesting to compete with other people. Parang I have my own goals na would never be the same with others. Iba talaga magiging life ko. And then maybe it's being exposed so early on. Tapos nakakarinig ka na ng stories. And then you're like, parang I don't wanna go through that with another person. I don't wanna But life happens.
Paano yung sa Love Team stage ng buhay mo?
When I look back, it's always happy memories. I look back and I always remember like yung milestones namin. Oh my gosh, na-achieve natin to. Our first ever movie together, our first MMF together, our first, daming first. So I look back and I'm so grateful for it.
Pero paano mo na-handle yun nung time na yun, na yung love team mo, tapos you're in a relationship? Sobrang hirap nun. Tapos may fans pa in between.
Yeah.
And the management pa in between.
Right. It was a public relationship. Yun yung nangyari. And then that's why everybody felt like they were part of the relationship.
May say lahat.
May say lahat. But we were young, okay lang. And then you learn how to take care of your next one.
So ano natutunan mo dun sa relationship na yun?
Yeah, no, yung number one, basic. Just don't overshare. Be protective of your partnership. Don't let everybody in. And then, but second siguro is don't be possessive over a person. Just be a partner. Be a supportive partner. Hindi siya ownership pala. Kasi when you're in a relationship with your love team, you feel like you own each other in the relationship and then even at work. So parang you both probably don't feel like you can fly or explore. Yun lang. You don't own a person. You just become a partner pala of another person.
When you go through heartaches, controversies, anong laging sinasabi ng mami mo sa'yo?
Don't let it make you a bad person. Especially the worst one, she really told me, like, just make sure, Julia, that your heart stays the same when you get out of this. Wag masira yung mundo for you. So I think that stayed. Kasi very hopeful pa rin ako sa world.
Yun yung pinakamaingay, no? Yung 2019.
Yeah, and I was just 22.
22. Ang bata mo pa noon. Grabe. So, paano mo hinandle yun na 22? Yung ganong ingay?
Hindi ko din alam paano.
Palaban ka talagang para makapag-post ka ng ganon, Julia. Talagang nag-post ka ng something na talagang straight to the point ang address ni Julia. Ano yan? Peak of your emotion? Or super na yun?
I don't
Paano
know.
dumating dun sa decision
Sa point na yun, I don't know, Ate Tin, if I did that for myself or did it for the people around me. Like the people who were really hurting for me. Kasi di ba pag ikaw naman nasasaktan, parang kaya. Pero pag parang yung sa paligid mo na yung please. Like,
Yung
why
family
are you
na.
allowing this? But I don't know, like kanina.
Sa kanila is you're referring to your family?
Family, my
Your
family,
mom.
my closest friends. Sila yung umiiyak, ako yung parang, ba't ko umiiyak? Okay lang, ano ba? So maybe that was for them. You have two choices. Am I going to, magmumukbok ba ako or magpapatuloy ako? Siguro yung phase na yun at 22. I was so sure, Ate Tin, that wait, like this is not the end of my world. Like, hindi ako magmumukbok, we're gonna keep going. You also have to take accountability for anong naging role mo sa chaos na yun.
So, anong role mo dun sa chaos na yun?
Siyempre ako personally, I'm sure na may naging role ako in somebody else's pain, in other people's pains, in the same way that they also have contributed to my pain. But I think you know na okay ka na when you already acknowledge na, you know, baka I have a role in this. Baka may shortcoming din naman talaga ako. Baka I really did something that hurt somebody. Yeah, of course.
Maturity
you have to,
yun, para dumating ka sa point na yun.
Yeah.
Or dahil ang tagal na kasi. 2019 pa.
Yeah.
So, years of realization. Kasi
Yes.
maraming realizations yan. Every year, iba ang realizations. It's passing through the fire, getting out of the fire, and being burned. Yung after, yung marirealize mo, shit, napaso ako dun, shocks.
Yeah,
Diba?
pero may napaso ka ding iba. Parang you have more compassion na. Siyempre, it's sad when you think like, baka nakasakit din ako talaga ng tao. It's sad.
Paano ka nag-heal?
I took accountability. Hindi naman pwedeng everybody just hurt me. I'm sure there's some people that I hurt along the way.
Ikaw, na-hurt ka.
Super! Sobra!
Anong naging role ni Gerald nung time na yun? In the process of you going through the fire and dealing with everything. Was he a friend to you? Did he support you? Did he encourage you? Did he tell you? Did he apologize to you for going through this fire?
Yeah. Maybe mas sa family ko. Because I also remained very strong lang. Yeah, pero hindi kami noon, Ate Tin. Hindi kami noon. So, I can't say that he was a
ang
partner to
hirap
me.
So, ang hirap nung part na yun. Hindi kayo.
Yeah, hindi kami
So,
noon.
paano mo ina-navigate yung isang issue na hinuhusgahan na kayo nung time na yun?
On my own.
Tapos, nag-apologize siya sa family mo?
Yeah.
Or kinausap niya yung family mo?
After na everything. Kasi we had no partnership. So he didn't really have access to my family also. So parang we navigated this in our own ways. Of course, there were times that we had conversation like, paano nauwi sa ganito?
How did we get here?
How did it get here? Pero okay naman, he really remained strong din yun. Very.
So, imagine, before getting together, na-test muna kayo.
Oh my gosh, actually. And then even when we got together, another kind of fire.
Nag-spark din.
Yeah. Pero parang when you go through na what we went through before being together, parang everything is kakayanin.
Paano nyo kinaya?
Nothing is permanent. Yun na lang. Nothing is permanent. Lilipas din. True enough. Thank you. Thank you.
So, when you look back at that noisy phase in your life, anong natutunan mo doon?
Resilient ako. I'm proud. I don't give up. Fight lang. Fight ng fight sa life.
Hindi ba when you go through something, it can either break you or make you?
Yeah. Naging fuel siya. It's
You
the
didn't
fuel
allow
I
it
needed.
to break you?
No.
Pero how did it make your relationship strong after going through that?
I love it when he puts it in a way na parang, of course, there are some things that we face, pero nagiging cute na nga lang yung mga na-face namin ngayon because of that. But at the end, I feel like with our age, like me also like being the end of the last leg of my 20s. I think the problems you face are more mature na. It's more adult. It's how do two people work out? How do we mesh together? Ganun na lang. Hindi na siya petty anymore.
Ilang years ang difference niya?
8.
May effect ba sa
Sakto
relationship?
siya, perfect. He's 35. So siguro everything ng mga crisis ko ng 20s ko, figuring out myself, navigating my 20s.
Nadaanan na niya?
Nadaanan niya na. So na-witness niya yung dinadaanan ko yun. So I'm so thankful na ang patient niya sa aspect na yun.
Ano yung best advice na nabigay sa'yo ng mami mo about love?
Hindi siya nangingialam. It's more like when we were already in the middle of a relationship, she was telling me, Julia, don't lose who you are. Parang still have your own identity. Diba usually attitude when we become in a relationship, parang nagiging identical ka na dun sa partner mo. So she just she wanted me to make sure na I still had my individuality.
Paano mo na keep yun for yourself?
May daily
Na
check-in
apart
ka.
from him, di ba? Na
Yes.
hindi lang siya. Dapat nakikip mo pa rin yung individuality.
Yeah.
Ano yung common ground sa inyo?
Our common ground, we're both a Pisces. Water babies kami. We love the sun, we love the water, the ocean, we love activities. But yung mga differences namin is what makes it fun.
Alam mo, ito laging tinatanong pagka ilang years na kayo in the relationship.
This is our 5th year.
Grabe, 5th year. Ako, nung 5th year namin ni Paul, lahat ng interview ko, do you talk about marriage? Di ba?
Yeah.
Lahat.
Yes.
Laging ganyan. Napag-uusapan
Yeah.
nyo na ba ang marriage?
First year nga namin, yun na yung...
Yun na yung tanong?
Yeah, so parang, ang bilis naman nun.
Alam mo, ganito yun sa showbiz ha. Kayo ba? Tapos pag kayo na, kailan kayo ikakasal?
Or buntis ka na.
Or buntis ka na, or hiwalay na yan.
Hiwalay, yeah.
Yun lang yun. Yun lang yung
Yeah.
iniikutan nila.
Correct.
Paano mo hinahandle yung ganun sa relationship?
Ngayon ko lang na-experience yung ganun kadaming questions about marriage. So ko, why? Like, I think people forget sometimes I'm not even in my 30s yet.
Kasi malalaman mo yun, bilang isang babae, lalo na if you're in this stage of your life in your 20s. Ako, alam na alam ko na yun eh. Ito yung age na I wanna settle down. Ikaw, meron kang ganun for yourself?
When I was younger, I thought 25. Nung 19 ako, 20. But now I think I'm just so grateful with the pace of my life now. I'm not rushing. I'm taking my time.
What's so special about this relationship right now?
He's so secure in our relationship. Parang siya talaga yung nagiging anchor ng relationship. So when I see how the confidence that he has in our partnership, syempre it makes you confident in what you guys have. So I appreciate that.
Since you guys are together for 5 years, can you imagine if it's a book, yung chapter 1 nyo was, ano na agad, pick agad ng story.
Yeah.
Ano na, kung baga, ito na kagad, ang plot twist. Nasa chapter 5 na kayo. Ito na ba yung nagsisettle ang mga dust?
Syempre, there are still things that I'm navigating for myself. Yung chapter 5 is just getting to the exciting part.
What's your biggest frustration in life?
If I'm being honest, my biggest frustration right now is I just want to make sure that sa friendships ko, I really wish that I have the right people in my life, the right friends. Because you know what it's like to have people turn their backs on you. So you want to make sure that the people who are in your life are not fair weather friends, are not. Yeah, loyalty and friendships, minsan mas importante pa yun sa loyalty in relationships.
May narinig akong ganun may question sila. Anong mas masakit? Heartbreak ng friendship or heartbreak ng relationship?
Yeah, friendship for sure.
Hindi nga.
Yeah.
Dahil?
Or kind of because if you don't work out with a person, it's just you don't work out with a person. And then love, like it'll hurt you talaga. And friendships too, but you just don't expect friends to turn their back.
Oh, so madami kang natutunan sa friends in the industry.
Yes. Yeah.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Doon mo makikita ang daming ni-reveal din sa'yo.
Yeah, just
In the
thank you.
course of time.
Oo,
Papa,
protection.
thank you.
Yeah, na-protect ako doon. My
Na-filter.
tita calls it the perfect storm. The sister of my mom. Nagka-storm daw, tas lahat ng hindi meant sa life mo. Tas nung nag-stop yung storm, mga nandyan daw. Yun yung mga real people sa life mo. I said perfect. Yun. It was called the perfect storm.
Alam mo, hindi mo makakalimutan yung mga tao who were there for you when you're going through fire.
Yes.
It means a lot. Yan yung mga tumatatak sa'yo.
Yeah.
Term yan ngayon, hashtag yan. The world is healing. Oh,
The world
diba?
is healing.
Dahil may mga hugging photos. Okay, the question is the world really healing when that happened?
For me, yes. Syempre, I'm gonna personally speak for myself because I never wanna speak for anybody else. It's a moment that, of course, binavalue ko yun. That's why as much as possible. Siyempre, ang dami nag-a-ask sa akin. And I don't want to go into details so much kasi ayoko naman that other people would feel like it was some ingenuine moment. Siyempre, it's a really real moment. Diba? Kasi siyempre, it was messy. So, pag na-iron out yun, kahit konti, it helps.
Nakatulong ba yan?
Yeah, maybe to fully close it. Para lang alam mong the people in the past, you were able to close that with them. Hoping that it also gives them peace.
So now, what are you most grateful for?
I'm just so grateful for my life. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Regrets?
Wala din natin din. It's too heavy to carry.
So if there's one mantra or words you live by at this phase or stage in your life, ano yun?
Just ride the wave. All of it.
Kasi di ba before we wanted to sit down,
Dami natin push and pull.
it's nice to have a conversation na you already passed through the fire.
Yes.
And now we're just looking back at the learnings.
Yeah. And we're not sad looking back.
Yes, it was painful, it was chaotic at that time, pero pag you look back,
Yeah.
oh, it was necessary for me to pass through that.
Yes.
Kasi it has made me the woman I am today, diba? I think it also has made you a better actress. Kasi, di ba, pag actress ka, dapat
Dami
tanda
mong
mong bala.
Oh, dami mong bubog.
Nakadagdag na to sa motivation.
But thank you also, Ate Tin. Grabe, you made me strong. Oo, hindi mo lang alam. Pero pinalakas mo talaga ako nun.
Then dumaan din ako ng sarili ko.
Yeah.
Ikaw din ang nag-send sa akin ng 2022.
Yes. Pero nung winatch
Pero na-feel
kita,
ko.
you made me stronger pa.
Diba?
Super good example ka talaga ng rising above. So, thank you for that.